about IELTS, I can starting in.
Yeah, if you are in my town right now, I will gladly to borrow some of my tumpukan books there to you because there are a lot of material of IELTS, but yeah, we will share about it. Okay, books and what is called like um, website, yeah. Okay. Another one to
Kak Montisa,
add something?
may I ask?
Yeah,
Sure.
Maybe,
me.
sorry,
I want to
maybe
know about the difference between among the other English tests. For example, like the difference between TOEFL and IELTS, because I think the grammar is a very different.
Yeah.
I want to know more.
TOEFL and IELTS. Okay, Miss Isabel, thank you. And the last one, I think.
may I ask how long the preparation itself to get, I think, se- 6.5 minimum to get
Okay.
that score. I think
Okay.
that. Okay,
Hey,
thank
thank you,
you.
Mas Ristianto.
Yes.
Alright, Mas, panggilannya siapa? Mas Yanto, Mas Risti, Mas Tian.
Aris,
Oh, Mas Aris. Okay. Okay. I think we are ready to start the discussion. Miss Monica, are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Thank you guys for having me right now, and I hope everything runs well with you. And I'm so happy to be your host tonight. I feel jubilant on one hand. On the other hand, I feel like I told you before, I feel I have butterflies in my stomach. But yeah, this is my first experience to host the discussion. So I hope I can, I'm not letting you guys down. So before we start the discussion, I will introduce myself first. My name is Monty Samariana, and you can call me Tisa or Mon, but my best friend is actually call me Tisa. See, so yeah, it's up to you. And I'm a lecturer in one of the university in Cirebon, and I teach law for I don't know maybe 10 years. And tonight we will discuss about international English language testing system, or usually we call it with IELTS. We know that IELTS is one of the requirement of um, to
Scholarship.
to apply some scholarship, and they have a lot of differences about the score band, about the band score. It's about 1 to 9, but different universities have different requirement, different major, different country, different scholarship. Maybe just we start in the minimum is 6 to 6.5 or above that. And you know that IELTS is have 4 section. There are section listening and reading and writing, and of course in speaking. Tonight we will talk about it, and we have a beautiful lady, but not prettier than me, not prettier than me, because I'm prettier than her. I will introduce her first. I forgot about her name. Oh, her name is Monica Utari Mariana. We can call her Monica or Monche or Auntie in my case. And she is, what is called? She finished her bachelor degree in uh, University of Indonesia in major public health, and she continue her study to aduh lupa apa sih jurusannya. Global Health, ya, Global Health in Uppsala University in Sweden, provide by provide provide by LPDP scholarship. And tonight She will talk and we will have a discussion about the IELTS and the tips and trick and how to reach the the score, yeah, how to reach the score, because the expectation is different from a lot of people. And feel free to ask, feel free to raise your hand, and feel free to chat your question in the chat box. And yeah, of course, I hope the discussion is will have a benefit to you guys. So Miss Monica, are you ready to start your presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, time is yours.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's such an honor to be here to actually support my sister hosting this program. Um, and we come to a conclusion that maybe discussing about IELTS preparation would be beneficial for all of us, since maybe some of you um, are about to take any um, scholarship or want to go abroad. So in some cases, you need to have international recognized tests for prove your English ability. And actually, I have some slides, but I don't really want to have it like as a lecturing. So please feel free to interrupt my presentation, and maybe I'm just gonna give like super quick um, explanations about IELTS, and after that we can continue to discuss in the Q&A session, since I do want to hear your voice and your face and have some interactions with everyone's here. And I hope all the 30 people in this Zoom meeting get an opportunity to talk. It is also live on YouTube, so I share the link in the chat box. If you want to share it to your friends, you could do that. I'm gonna start by sharing a screen. I hope all of you can see that.
Yes, I
Okay.
can see.
Cool. So yeah, we're gonna talk about IELTS. So we will start to discuss what is exactly. Wait a minute. I feel like my hijab is not like in the right place. Okay, is it like on point? Okay.
No, you are ready.
Thank you, Maratna. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna talk about IELTS, and I'm gonna try to answer right away the previous questions in the chat box. So what is it? What is IELTS, and what make IELTS different with another types of English tests? IELTS itself stands for International English Language Testing System, and it measures our language proficiency for those who want to study or want to work abroad. Because as we know, English is international language of communication. So it's a pretty different with another type of test. If you have heard before about TOEFL ITP or TOEFL ITP, so I'm gonna explain it a little bit. We have TOEFL ITP for those who want to apply for a university or apply for job in Indonesia. It mostly recognized for Indonesian institution. If you have heard, it's called TOEFL ITP, institutional testing. I don't know what's the P, but it's called TOEFL ITP, and it consists of structured tests, listening, and reading. So there is no speaking or writing. The first one is this one. Most of people take this before they take IELTS, if they need to. For example, you want to apply for LPDP scholarship, you can apply by having IELTS, or you can apply by providing the TOEFL ITP, because TOEFL ITP have what we call it, apa ya namanya ya, Kayak penyetaraan. So if you got like 550 for TOEFL ITP, it means you got around you get around 6.5 for IELTS. So you can apply for LPDP if it's not changing. Like me, when I apply for LPDP, I gave them my TOEFL ITP, not my IELTS test. And then the second one, we have TOEFL IBT, and this is the international one. So if you talk about TOEFL, there is TOEFL ITP and IBT. The IBT is the international one. It's pretty similar with the IELTS. You will have speaking, listening, reading, and writing tests in TOEFL IBT, and most of university in the world accept except maybe the UK, because most of UK university accept IELTS one, but most of American university or any university in the world also accept TOEFL IBT, and of course IELTS. Yeah, I think that's both the most popular one, TOEFL ITV, TOEFL IBT, and the last one is IELTS, what we're gonna talk today. So there are also two types of IELTS tests that you can choose when you register yourself. So you have to choose, you're gonna take the IELTS academic or the IELTS general training. Is there anyone here know what's the difference between that? So you can turn on your microphone, unmute
I know.
Yeah, please.
I'll try to answer.
What is that? What's the difference?
The academic IELTS is if you want to apply to go to the university to get the scholarship, but for the general is you apply for work, especially like if you want to work in Australia or Canada, they need the IELTS.
Exactly.
So it's totally different also. The insight.
Have you taken the IELTS general training before?
I did when I was planning to go to the Aussie that time in 2017, but there is something else, so I was postponed to go there, but until now.
but have you take the test?
Yes, I did.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So we have an experience also from a apprentice who has taken the IELTS general training, because like I'm pretty sure all of us here have the experience, like most of us have the experience on IELTS academic, not the general training. But you're right. So the difference is IELTS academic mostly for university purpose, applying for the university or academic related. And then the general training is if you want to, for example, if you want to move, if you want to migrate to Australia, to Canada, to the UK. So you have to provide your visa application with a kind of a IELTS test as well. Or for migration, including work, as apprentice said. And what about the score? So the score, it's vary between 1 to 9. So 1 is the, what do we call it? What do we call
Lower?
it?
The lower one?
Yeah, the lower one. There is the terminology.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot the names of. I forgot the terminology, but like the highest one is the proficient one.
Non-user.
Yeah, non-user.
And
Exactly.
Expert.
Yeah, exactly. Non-user and the expert one. So who got 9? Those who got 9, we could say they are pretty much speak like native. But yeah. So the maximum is 9, the minimum is 1, and the band. Oh, it's here. Non-user. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't read it. Yeah, from non-user, band score 1 to expert 1, the band score 9, and most university accept between 6 and 65. So you can apply for some uni. Apply for some scholarship with 6 or 65, but if you apply for the university in the UK or in the United States, it requires you higher score, especially if you plan to take social science. So most of the natural science like chemistry and engineering, it requires a lower IELTS score than, for example, if you apply for law school or a business school, it requires higher score.
How about health, sister? How about health education?
Health.
Yes.
I think, I mean, I take health. It really depends on the uni, but health is more like social and but depends on what kind of health. If it's medical, I'm not really sure about that. But me, I take a little bit like a bit social science, but it requires only 66.5. It doesn't require more than that. In my university, it's in Sweden, which they don't speak. I mean, they speak English, but their main language is not English. It is Swedish. So it also influenced the requirement. Okay. Yeah. So the next slide. I want to share, most of you already know about this. We have listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And this is the minutes that you're going to spend for each test. For the listening, it's going to be 30 minutes for 40 questions. For the reading, it's going to be 60 minutes for 40 questions. For the writing, it's going to be 60 minutes for 2 questions. Only 2 guys for the writing, so it's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I'm kidding. So that's the hardest one. The speaking one, gonna take around 11 until 14 minutes. Since listening and reading, in a listening and reading, you just gonna need to answer it, like multiple choice stuff like that. Even some of the question you have to fill the blank, like you have to provide 1 words or 2 words or maximum, I don't think 3 words, but I think 2 words maximum for if you have a type of questions, fill in the blank. But for the writing and speaking, you're gonna be examined by the examiner, not by the computer. So for the listening and reading, it's like just there is already the correct answer. The correct answer is there. But for the writing and speaking, the correct answer is really depends on the examiner. It really depends on how you present your answer. So there are many factors for the writing and speaking. It is also about how you, especially for the speaking, how you're not being too nervous, for example, and stuff like that. Yeah. So for the listening, you're gonna have multiple choice, diagram labeling, sentence completion, summary completion, and for the reading, you're gonna have multiple choice as well, and sentence completion, summary completion, and matching features. So yeah, for example, kayak like the topic sentence, the topic statement, what the paragraph 1 discuss about, something like that. So you match which paragraph and which topic sentence, and then also the match headings. And it also covers for the listening and reading. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. For the reading, I'm pretty sure there is like true, false, and not given, and in the listening as well, right, Tisa?
Of course, the
Okay,
hardest one, the
true.
hardest one. True, false,
Yeah.
not given. Yes, no, not
True,
given.
false, or not given. But it's the hardest one, but it's also the easiest one because you only have 3 choices. Yeah, so your chance to guess the correct answer is higher than the multiple choice. And the writing and the speaking. The writing, you're gonna have to write to essay, and for the speaking, you're gonna have it in 3 parts. We're gonna zoom in for each section actually. Yeah. I feel like I'm giving a lecture. I'm sorry. Is there any question?
Yes, I have a question.
Sure.
Yes, if our answer is wrong, is there any reduction in our value marks maybe?
Okay. For I'm pretty sure it's not. So you can answer. Please answer all the question, even you're not sure about that. So if you run out of time and you still have like 10 questions left and you don't know the answer, just guess. So there is no
Okay.
penalty for the wrong answer. But
So
yeah,
I can choose my button
yeah.
kancing baju.
Don't forget to use the button one. Yeah, I mean the button shirt. Okay. Hold on a second.
There is someone raised hand, Brata.
Hello.
Okay. Hi, Brata, you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Okay. Do you have some question to Miss Monica?
Yes, of course. I want to ask to the Monique. For how long the score of IELTS offered in university, and then yeah, that's
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Monica.
So you mean when will the score be expired?
Yes.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, it's 2 years. Is it correct, Tisa?
Yes, it's
Okay.
correct.
Since Tisa just took the IELTS test like a month ago, so she is more updated than me. So we also, Tisa, please feel free to answer the question as well, or correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay. Okay, you can go on, Miss Monica. If there are question, there is a question, please just raise your hand and let me know.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So we're gonna go. I'm not gonna zoom in for the listening and reading. So there was a question about listening, right? How to we can discuss it later. I mean, how to sharp your listening skill, but I don't really have a slide for that. For the listening and reading, and I'm gonna give some slide about writing and speaking, since these two are we could say the hardest one. Yeah. So as I mentioned before, they're gonna be two tasks for the IELTS writing test. Um, so the task one is the easiest one, we could say. It's not the easy, but if it compares to the second one, most people say this is the easiest. This is easier than the second task. We have to read, or we have to make an essay or kind of a report about a diagram most of the time, or it can be any, like pie diagram or chart or table, or the worst one is the process. Can you imagine, like, you have to explain in a text? For example, I learned it, I didn't get it in my real task, but I learned it. We have to discuss that there is like a pictures about how the farmer uh, make, I have no idea, like the cocoa, like from the scratch until it is ready to use. So you have to explain all the scheme, all the process, which means you really need to master the vocabularies for cocoa. What? I have no idea. I don't even know how to say cocoa. So yeah, it's pretty hard, and there are many types of task one. So cross your finger and pray that you're gonna get the easiest one. For example, like the pie diagram or any chart. So yeah, so what you have to do is you make an introduction, you give an overview of the task. What is that about? For example, the pie charts below show recycling in Sydney, Melbourne, and worldwide. So this is the recycling. This is the data for the worldwide. This is for the Sydney, and this one is for Melbourne. So what we have to do is we start with the overview of the task. Try to give an introduction about what is this about. Okay, so this chart shows blah 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 blah. but don't forget to paraphrase.
Rephrase.
Yeah, what's it?
Memparafrasekan.
Paraphrase. Oh, whatever. Paraphrase the paraphrase
Title.
The question.
yeah,
Title.
the question, the task, paraphrase the statement here. So explain it by your own words. And then you describe in the first paragraph the general trends. What is this about? Or we can see here, for example, okay, so in the worldwide, it dominates with the paper and blah blah blah. Yeah, you can describe what is the most important, the most general trends in the chart. And in the second paragraph, you discuss about the data. You describe, you can compare data. For example, if comparing from in the worldwide data compared to the Sydney one, or the Sydney with the Melbourne, if it's important. So don't compare everything, but compare the important ones. And in the third paragraph, you describe remaining data, but not everything still. And if I'm not mistaken, it's 150 words. So you have to write more than 150 words. If you write less than 150 words, you're gonna get the penalty. So there is no penalty for the reading and listening, but there is penalty for writing. So if you write less than 150, you got -1, if I'm not mistaken. My teachers in IDP said it's -1. So if you get 6, band 6 for writing, you're gonna get 5 because your words less than 150 for the task 1, which is really bad. And I forgot to mention here, today we have IELTS provide 2 types of examination. It's computer-based or paper-based. So if paper-based, you can imagine you have to count, or you have to make sure that you write more than 150, and it takes time actually. But with the internet, with the computer based, the computer count it for you, so it's a faster. Right, Tisa? What is your experience about that?
Yeah, I think the computer base is better than the paper base, because the computer base is provide us everything, and in writing we just just like typing there, and there is a number in the computer, so we just know about the number of our writing. And yeah, I think it's better for us to get a computer, I think, Miss Monica.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is also answer Risti Yanto question, yeah, Risti Yanto. So yeah, in the chat box there was a question about which one is easier, computer based or paper based test. I've never experienced a computer test, but Tisa experienced that, and Tisa said it's easier.
Okay,
May I ask, Monica?
Miss. Okay, Mbak.
Me.
Erlia.
Oh, Mbak
Yes.
Lia. Yeah, Mangga.
Yeah. I heard that the IELTS writing test 1, because we describing graph and diagram, we need to use the specific or special vocabulary like slightly down, rocketed up, something like that. Is it really matter to the score of our writing? And how could we practice using it? We should practice writing diagram or something. Thank you.
Okay, Miss Monica.
That's really good questions. Is there, because I didn't put it in my presentation, is there any specific vocabulary that you have to remember for IELTS task 1? Yes, absolutely. What you have to remember is how to write it. You can just copy paste it. I mean, have a critical thinking is one thing, but familiar with the vocabulary is also important. So you need to be critical to write an essay. Of course, in any essay, you have to see what's the important point. You have to decide what kind of what kind of example that you have to provide. But please use the correct terms. And you are absolutely right, Herlia. There is a table actually that you can memorize. So you understand what is it, and after that you memorize it. How to, for example, how to show the increased trends, for example. So you have the word, for example, jump or rise, and then increase, and
Reach
what
a peak.
else,
Reach
Tisa?
a, reach a peak.
Remain stable, plateau, terus apa lagi?
Yeah, so okay, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, who can please mention to me the word that showing increasing trends.
Reach a peak.
Preference of COVID maybe.
Any other?
Grow.
Grow, exactly.
Growth.
My
Reach a
weight.
peak.
Growth.
Rocketed. I have
Escalated.
ever heard rocketed, escalated.
Rocket, escalated. Pokoknya something yang upping, yang going up, jump, and you can make it by your own actually. But I mean, there
really.
Yeah, I mean, if that means, growing up, then it can be used. For example, jump. It means jump, like there is a high difference. Like for example, here and here, it's a jump number. It is significant gitu, significant increase gitu. And there is a list, you can remember the list. But that's good, guys. And for the decrease trend, what can we use?
Decline.
Hmm?
Decline.
Decline, good.
Drop.
Dropped.
Good.
Fall.
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 Go down.
Go down, exactly.
Plummet.
Plung. Plung. I don't.
Miss,
Plummet,
jangan
yes,
makan aja,
plummet.
Miss.
I have ever heard plummet.
Plummet.
Plummet, yeah, aku juga, I've never used it actually. I heard it, but I've never used it. That's good. And also, you can also describe the trend when it's fluctuating. You can also describe the trends. Leah said, reach a peak. It means it reach the highest point. If it's like the
hills,
the line diagram, for example, we have a line diagrams. Yeah, so it reach the peak, and then also if it's stagnant or if it's remains stable, you can say, what is it? What was that, Tisa? You said that before.
Plateau, remain steady. I don't know what the pronunciation, yeah, Miss.
Stable.
Yeah, plateau tadi.
Stay constant.
Constant, good. Perfect. Yeah. Shall we go to the next slide?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And then we go to the second writing task. So how to score high? You can see it here. So the task response, the first you answer all the questions, don't leave any question unanswered, and make a proper plan. It means take your time before you start writing for the especially for the second task, because you need to make all the argumentation become relevant and apa sih namanya, coherence and stuff like that. So you make a proper plan, and then you write down the thesis statement for each what is it, for each paragraph. So you make the thesis statement for each paragraph, and then try to use the formal and academic language. Ya, jadi jangan nyingkat-nyingkat ya, say. Ntar lu nulis you pakai u ya. Jadi jangan sampai nulis you pakai nulis you pakai u, okay? And support your arguments with the reason and example. This is the important one as well, and it makes your essay longer. And don't forget to separate the paragraphs, avoid repetition, and use linking words. Uh, Despite, nevertheless, furthermore, moreover, in addition, and then however, on the other hand. So try to remember that. Try to remember the conjunction and how to use each conjunction.
Mhm.
And try to use a complex and compound sentence structure as well. So don't use like subject, verb, object. Don't use only that kind of structure, but make it more complex sentence using and using the conjunction, using the linking words that mentioned before. And don't forget at the end, you summarize all key in your conclusion. Okay. So this is the example. Some people, for example, this one, anyone want to read it for me?
May I?
Sure.
So, read the questions.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, question. In most countries, multinational companies and their product are becoming more and more important. This trend is seriously damaging our quality of life. To what extent do you agree or disagree?
Exactly. So the question is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So what we have to do is, Tisa, what we who knows what we have to do to answer this?
I think I know.
Oh, sure. Try to answer it.
Okay, so here,
Mhm.
first you need to decide it. Do you agree or disagree for this topic? So first, make sure that you understand the topic of the questions. That's it.
Good. So, any other participant want to add?
Yeah, Miss.
Question is, yeah, to what extent?
I think like I'm just like a member of the. Please don't eat
Why?
again because I want it to.
Okay,
Like,
continue. I'm here. I'm listening.
okay. I think I want to add some explanation for from Miss Monica uh, presentation that the what it's called the writing task 2 is have a score bigger than writing task 1, so you should I think in my opinion you should finish your writing task 2 first, then to continue to writing task 1. And of course you should just like make some plan before you write. So don't you dare to try to write before you have a plan, because it's just like sometimes you think that, oh, okay, I can write a lot. I can write maybe more than 300 words in writing task 2, and it's great. But actually it's not, because what the examiner see is the coherence from your first paragraph until your last paragraph, and it's just like it's impossible to have a coherence if you are not plan your writing. I think kayak gitu, Miss.
Yeah.
Like, no?
Thanks for the insight, everyone. That's correct. So try to do the second part first, and then after that, the first part. If you divide the time, you have 60 minutes. So please maximum do for the first part. So sorry, for the second part, use your 40 minutes, and then for the second part, use 20 minutes. Yeah, and try to exercise different type of question. For example, this one, discuss both views and give your opinion. This one, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Provide your opinion, give a reason, do the advantages or disadvantages. So there are many types of questions. Make sure you understand how to answer each type of questions. Yeah.
Yeah, and if I can add, of course, Miss, that there are a lot of type of question in writing task 1 and writing task 2, and when I read it from Simon website, he said that the best, the best way to learn is you you just collect the question. Like from writing task one, you have the diagram, you have what is called pie chart or and anything. I think there are 10 type of question in writing task one, and uh you just you just learn to you just practice about how to write the first paragraph first, and then you jump to the second paragraph and the third paragraph, and of course it is applied to the writing task too also. They are not just agree and disagree, or if what is called advantages outweigh the disadvantages, but there are a lot of type of the question, so you should practice all of the type of the question. Yeah, Miss Monica, I think I have some question. Is it okay if I read it to you?
Sure.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
maybe if the one who asked the question want to ask right away, it's okay as well.
Okay. I think the question from Mas Hisbul is already answered by Miss Monica. Uh, it's better to not use the same word two times, except the words is already on the question, like the question tasknya. Tapi kalau misalnya enggak sih, of course it's better to not use the same words. And there is a question from Mbak Dian. Mbak Dian, hi, are you there? Kak
Yes,
Dian,
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
you want to what is called like asking directly to Miss Monica?
Yeah, hello. Hello, Miss.
Hi, Dian.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm asking about writing practice because I have tried my IELTS test, but I I got the score. I mean, it's not my expected score because of especially for writing section, and I have difficulties in finding how to recheck my IELTS writing sample, especially because if I need to practice speaking, I can do it with my sparring partner, like just my friends. But for someone who are capable to recheck my IELTS writing sample, I don't know if you have any idea how to recheck our IELTS writing sample by tools or any recommendation, maybe.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank you, Kak
you.
Dian. So, Miss Monica, do you have any suggestion?
Okay, thanks for the question, Dian. First, of course, it really good. It's gonna be super good if you have teachers or someone who are capable enough to review your paper or to review your essay. But if you don't have that person, try to use grammarly.com. It helps because it shows your mistakes, and it shows, for example, the most common mistake in IELTS or in writing and in speaking is we forgot to put articles. Ya, jadi kita tuh lupa nulis and the, itu sering banget. So use grammarly.com to check it, and Grammarly will check also your spelling and your choice of words, your of course your tenses. It checks everything actually. I use grammarly.com before I send an essay, for example, to my professor, or even to reply an email sometimes because I'm not really sure if I write it correct or not. Yeah, and just a quick intermezzo, not a quick intermezzo, quick advertisement. Please, if especially for Dian, if you have taken an IELTS test before and you got, I would say, you're not satisfied with your writing score, uh, 1 Jam 1000 Mimpi is opening a writing class this batch. So try to sign up. I'm not I don't I'm I don't promise you to that you will be in that class, because it really depends on the tutor. If we have enough numbers of tutor, we can provide many writing IELTS. But try to apply for that. Apply for 1 Jam 1000 Mimpi and choose the writing class. It will be really helpful if you have a private teacher, because in 1 Jam 1000 Mimpi you're gonna have like a private tutor and you can ask their help. I hope it answers.
Yeah, thank you, Miss. And I already applied for, for the free booming here.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Thank you,
information.
Kadian. Thank you, Miss Monica. And okay, Grammarly.com. You can use the IELTS Master, I think, because IELTS Master is my previous IELTS teacher said that you can just copy paste your writing there, and there will be a like a grade about your grading about your writing, just because like it's appropriate for university student, it's appropriate for a high school student, and so on in IELTS IELTSmaster.com. And yeah, but I think it's better for us to have a teacher, because it will be a personal feedback. Okay, Miss Monica, Mbak Kak Medika have a question for you. Hi Kak, are you there?
Hey, yes.
Please
All
spell it
right.
out.
So, well, first of all, are you twins, both of you?
We're not. We're sibling.
No, don't shoot there too.
Doesn't like me saying that we're sibling. I'm Jack.
Yeah, she's my sister, Kak.
All right. So by blood, yeah, related by blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if I don't want to, but yeah.
All right. So my question is, have you ever take a prediction test before for IELTS?
I think both of us is taking the real IELTS. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I haven't taken any prediction before. I didn't remember.
I'll take the one. I'll take the prediction before I go to the IELTS.
All right, Kak. So my question is, I've never took any IELTS test officially. So I took a prediction before I take the real one because it's expensive. So yeah, I have to check my score first. And then because of this pandemic, the prediction test went online. So the speaking test is kind of weird. Like I record myself answering the question card, right? In speaking, we have this question card, and it's like a monologue, And from that, I have this certain score in which if I say I am dissatisfied, indeed, because I join a lot of English conversations, and I read several tips for speaking in IELTS. They say that the key is to be confident, and I felt confident enough. So, is there any other qualifications regarding the speaking? Do our verb matters, or the way we answer, because I think it's about opinion. Yeah, they don't really score our answers, right? Whether we are having the right or wrong answers. But I don't really know. Besides this, the way we talk, is there any other qualifications about the score in speaking? I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak. And Miss Monica?
Thank you so much. And I would like to compliment your English. Your English is really good. Your pronunciation is really good. And as far as I'm concerned, your grammar mistake is not as much as other people as well, or as much as me. So I mean, you are about to get a good score, I believe. This is for the speaking. I have a slide. Can you guys see the slide?
Sure.
Yeah. So this is the speaking band descriptors for the public version. So this is what they examine from your speaking. And who's asking the question? Medica, yeah. Medica,
Yes.
yeah, and Medica. Um, I've never taken. I never take TOEFL IBT test, but according to my friend, when you have TOEFL IBT, it's kind of also monologue. I mean, you record yourself, so the
Right.
guy who talk with you is not in the computer. So you're gonna hear the, for example, like for the question. So you.
The
So
feedback also it recordings.
the examiner will ask the questions, but the examiner is not there.
Alright.
So the examiner will ask the questions, and you have to answer the question, for example, in 30 seconds for the part one. And then that's the kind of the same thing. So it seems like a bit like a monologue in TOEFL IBT. The computer-based one, according to my friend. I've never take that, but for the computer-based, I want to highlight for the computer-based for IELTS test, it's still directly, the speaking test is conducted directly. So you
Right.
still meet the native in front of you.
Even in this pandemic era?
Yeah, even it is computer-based. So the computer-based is only for the writing, speaking, and listening. But for the writing, speaking,
Writing, listening, and reading.
writing, listening, and reading. And then for the speaking, you're gonna meet the examiner in front of you with the mask and everything. You should wear a mask and stuff like that. Yeah. So
Right.
if you feel like more comfortable to talk directly with a native, try to choose the IELTS. Otherwise, you can choose TOEFL, IBT, or IELTS. And this is the band descriptors. So yeah, you can read it. Actually, so for example, if you wish to get band 7, so you have to speak at length without noticeable effort or loss of coherence, and you have to demonstrate language-related hesitation at times, or some repetition, or self-corrections. What does it mean? What it means is you still have hesitations, but not that many. So you are still allowed to have a self-correction, but in the right way. And you also, in terms of the fluency and coherence, you have to use a range of connectives and discourse markers with some flexibility. You use paraphrase effectively. So this is what you have to master for the speaking test. Just try to make sure it. And I think some tips for speaking tests, try to practice with your friends or in front of the mirror, so you get more confident. And I think you are confident enough though, so maybe you need to expand your vocabularies, and don't forget to use the conjunction, to use a specific expression, and if you need to use filler language or filler expression, don't use the same one. For example, in the beginning, oops, what is that, Priska? Oh, is it me like drawing this? I don't know. Did you see that, the red one?
Yeah.
I don't know, I think I'm doing that. Yeah. So yeah, there are many tips for speaking, and for the speaking part too, it is 2 minutes for you to deliver your speech, and don't stop before 2 minutes. It's really
Alright, so it matters, yeah, the time.
it matters. It really matters. If you stop like in 1 minute 30 seconds, it means you don't have anything to say. And you are
Right.
right. I think you say that, or other people say that it doesn't matter if the opinion is correct or not. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't matter if the data is real or not. For example, you could say, according to a medical journal published in 2019, and you mention some fact which is bullshit. It's okay.
Yeah, okay.
They don't they it's not important for them. What important is the way you express, the way you pronounce the word, the way you confident, the way you are confident to express your ideas. So
All
please,
right.
like, keep talking, in language.
Yeah, I
Don't
think
talk too fast as well. I'm
oh
talking too fast. I hope you can still get
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean. But I'm like, apa tuh namanya, kayak fast talker, I don't know. Kayak gue kalau ngomong cepet banget, say.
Yeah.
And I remind myself that fluency doesn't mean you speak fast, but you speak clear.
Really, yeah.
And if you ask also what else is important, many people ask about accent. Do you have like British accent or American accent? Um, and what I got from one of the Satu Jam Seribu Mimpi tutor, her name is Tika, ya. Tika get 9, band 9 for speaking IELTS, for speaking TOEFL IBT, which means like the TOEFL IBT is not 1 until 9, but
Right.
her score in TOEFL IBT,
600 something.
it's a 9 in IELTS.
Right.
And also the other guy, Randy also get 9 in IELTS speaking test. And Randy is a bit British, but Tika is not. Tika speaks fluently, calm, and she doesn't have an accent. And she said to us, it's not that important, the accent, but the important one is your pronunciation and your choice of words. So it's okay if you don't have any accent. Try to speak clear, because why we have IELTS in this word, to minimize the bias. So any nationality, any accent can express their proficiency in English. So don't worry about, I don't really have an accent. You can try to learn, you can try to copy some accent. It's a fun to have an accent, but it's not the most important one. And good luck.
Well, for them, we have our own accent, right?
Exactly, Indonesian accent.
Yeah, our reviewer is a native, so when he or she listens to our English, it's different, right?
Fine.
What did you say, Medica?
I think our Indonesian is our own accent because our reviewer is native, right? So when he or she hears the way we talk, then it is our own accent. I mean, you don't have to develop other accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's also
you can use, because IELTS is made to minimize the bias of nationality, of accent, something like that. So all people can get band 9.
Yeah.
Can I share a little my experience about the
Sure.
accent?
Mas Aprandi, go ahead.
Yeah. No, well, basically, when we're talking about the accent, most of Indonesian people, they want to be like a great accent, right? Maybe like British and something else. But really, I've been trying for selected in the. I know I've been trying apply for the in-flight safe, but and then the HR. When I was interviewing the HR, they said the Indonesian accent is the better one than the other Asian.
Yay!
Yeah, that's right.
We compare from the Philippines, Malaysia, Singaporean, and then and the other. Wait, I forget one more. It's China. So they always say that Indonesia they have a great accent, have the originally accent, which is we can know that you are from Indonesia. It's different part from the other Asian. You know, I'm so proud when I that one to become. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Aprendi. Yeah, the accent is not everything because a lot of things that we should pay attention than accent, I think. Before I continue to before I continue to answer the question, Miss Monica continue to answer the question. There is Mas Arnold. Hi, Mas Arnold.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you have some question to Miss Monica who eats all the time?
Yes.
You
Go
want
ahead.
to add something, please, Mas
That's
Arnold?
it's about
Mas
every.
Arnold also, Mas Arnold also a tutor in Satu Jam Seribu Mimpi, and he graduated from Groningen University, so he has a lot of experience as well.
Okay. Yep. My question is about when we do our preparation for IELTS, sometimes it is challenging or even very exhausting because in my experience, if I remember, I took IELTS test 4 times, and then I do my preparation by myself. And the question that always came to my mind is when this preparation will end. So actually, what is the good measurement to know that the preparation is enough and it is time for us to do the test? So maybe you can share your story, Mbak Moon.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Mamon.
Okay.
Mon.
Put
Because
over on.
we have both of us Mon. So yeah, you first.
Okay. I first, yeah, it's pretty hard to answer that because the test is super expensive, so you only want to have it one. You don't want to have a second attempt, but still, most of the time we are running out of time to apply for scholarship, for the university application, and stuff like that. The thing is, for me, for me, uh, I don't have the privilege to wait, or I don't have a chance to wait until I'm ready because I need to apply. So I think at the time I was, so I took IELTS test twice actually. The first one is in 2014. I was thinking to take, oh, I think I want to go study abroad, and no, okay, let's apply for IELTS. I took a workshop for 2 weeks, and after that, I studied by myself for 1 month, and I got 6 for my IELTS test overall score. And I cannot apply for the at the time. I cannot apply for the university that I want. So so I stopped trying. I'm tired, and I took a break for like 1 year, 2 years, and 1 year. And after that, I prepare again. I prepare myself again to for the IELTS test for around 3 months study, like everyday study. Uh, and what is important from IELTS is practicing the question. So you really have to practice about the type of questions and also the time management. So you really have to study, for example, for listening, you really have to uh, experience a complete 40 minutes without 40 or 30 minutes without interruption. So you are used to the pressure for having 40 questions for 30 minutes. So you keep doing that. At the time I was like, for my listening practice, it almost like I got like at least like 33 correct answer, 33. Sometimes I got like 37, 38 before my IELTS test. But in my real IELTS test, my second IELTS test, I got 5.5 for my listening because I wasn't really focused at that time. I was distracted by some stuff. I was about to pee at that time, and I got a pretty hard questions. I'm not familiar with the topic, so it might happen. I mean, even I feel like I'm super ready in my listening. I feel like, oh, I will get at least 7 for my listening, and my worst band is for listening. I got 5.5, so it's really challenging, and it's really different between one case and another case. It really depends on your lucky as well. No, your luck as well. I believe like if you get the easy question, it kind of a help as well from God. So yeah, but I got pretty hard at the time for my listening. But I prepared for 3 months, Mas Arnold, and at the time I feel ready actually before the exam. But I took the exam not because I'm ready, because I have to, because I don't have more time. I keep postponing the exam, but I have to apply for LPDP at the time. So I don't have any choice. I have to take the exam and I have to prepare myself, even I'm not that prepared. So yeah, I take that after 3 months, 3 months intense preparations. But before that, past before that, I had my preparation already, and for my speaking, I got many opportunities to present stuff in my office in English, so I feel pretty confident about that.
So actually, it's important to make ourselves familiar with the IELTS test.
Exactly. Exactly. That's the most important thing for me. I mean, like you, because what? Because of what? If you are capable, if you are fluent speaking in English or writing in English, or you are super English person, like everyone knows, oh, Monica is really good in English. She will get a higher score. She will get a good score for IELTS. It doesn't mean when you can speak English, you get higher score in IELTS test, because it's a test. It has specific type of questions. Can you imagine you have like 5 types or 10 types of like at least 5 types of questions for reading, 5 types of question for listening, and you have to must, and there are many tips for each type of questions. So we really have to master it. And for me personally, Mas Arnold, when I read, um, when I had my reading, especially, I get pretty good in my reading. It because not because I read and I understand all a whole passage, but because I know how to answer the question. Depend on the type of questions, because I read the tips. So I know how to scheme. I know how to make notes in the after each paragraph. So when I answer the question, I know how to find it easily. So that makes it easier. It's not because I know the vocabulary for all those hard passage. Answer, Mas Arnald and everyone.
Yep. Thank you, Mbak Moon.
Thank you, Mas Arnald.
Okay. Thank you, Mas Arnold. Hi, Mas Arnold. Like
Yep.
how?
Thank you, Mbak Moon. Again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, of course. Okay. Okay. Mbak Monica, I have a question from Erlangga right here. What the differences between IELTS and TOEFL? And what's the function of each, and what situation we use TOEFL or IELTS?
Hi, Erlangga. Are you here? You can unmute yourself if you are here. No, you're not? Okay. Are you here? Actually,
He's here, but
okay.
but maybe yeah.
I answered that question already. So the difference between IELTS and TOEFL, it's really depends on the university that you want to apply for. If you take, I think most of the American university, but nowadays they accept both. But you have to check it first in the university website, because some of university only accept IELTS, some university only accept TOEFL. But remember, if you want to apply for the university abroad, you have to apply for TOEFL IBT test, not TOEFL ITP. I hope it answers.
Thank you, Miss Monica. Mbak Ratna, are you there? Okay. Oh, do you want to answer? Do you want to asking directly to Miss Monica Utari Mariana? Who cute? Oh no. Okay. Okay. I will read it. Okay. Miss Monica, based on your explanation, so we have to write, state the reason, agree or disagree, and then we explain the reason and give some example, and the last giving short summary. Is it right,
Yeah,
Miss Monica?
exactly. So, for example, in the first paragraph, you mention your thesis statement or what you're gonna talk about in this, like as an introduction. What you're gonna talk about in this whole essay. And in the first paragraph, you can start with your first argument, why you agree with something or why you disagree with something. And then you explain it, and then you give some example, you zoom in and you give some example. And then at the end of the paragraph, in the fourth paragraph, for example, you give a short summary about what you have discussed in the previous yeah in the previous paragraph.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
Maybe
Miss
that
Monica.
could help to type the answer about TOEFL and IELTS for Erlangga later on.
I will chat him directly privately. Okay. Private, cat friends. Okay. The next question is from Mas Mas, mana tadi ada pertanyaan? Just a minute.
Mas Fadil.
Mas Fadil, yeah. Mas Fadil, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, the question is, what should I take the test first? From for now, by the way, I'm bachelor student. Is IELTS or the TOEFL for now?
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
what's
what
the
you need to
function?
do?
What's
Yes.
your purpose for the test? Do you have any specific purpose?
No, maybe for the next 2 year. Next 2 years. Yes, I want to study, continue my study, like master degree, and yes.
Okay. Thanks for the question, Fadil. Since the IELTS test is super expensive, it's almost 3 million rupiah. So I'm not suggesting you to take any IELTS tests in the near future if you don't have plan to take the master degree in a near in the near time, in the near future. So you can take the TOEFL one, but try to take the TOEFL ITP one. It doesn't have any speaking and writing test, but it is good test to examine your structure, your grammar, your listening, and your reading ability. So take the TOEFL ITP one. That's my suggestion for you. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Miss Monica. Before he ready to take the real IELTS test, right? Okay. I see in the participant there are some people who took the IELTS test recently, and I want to say it's hi Jason. Are you there?
Hello, I'm here.
Hi, our IELTS taker. So, I want to ask you something.
Tisa, I think
What?
Jesus got like 8 for like reading or something. Is it?
My listening.
Listening.
I get 8
Yeah.
for my listening.
You're really
Yay, thank you.
good.
Yay,
Yeah.
congratulations. And
Thank
Jason,
you.
do you want to tell us what is the most difficult section um, in IELTS? Is it reading or listening or speaking or writing, based on your experience?
Mm, I think I have difficulties in the reading actually.
Why? Because the question is gonna kill you
Yes,
slowly.
the passage is really long. The questions is hard, and the time is very limited.
Okay,
Mm.
but what is the section that you feel comfortable with? What the most section?
Mm, I think I'm comfortable with the listening one. Yes,
Listening.
the
Okay.
listening.
Okay, but you feel comfortable enough with the listening, and you feel it is the hardest thing to answer the reading question, right?
Yes,
Okay, but we glad that your score is great. You aimed 6.5, right?
right. I got
Ah,
the 6.5, but there are some bands that are lower than my expectation.
that's why I talk to you that we should check the inquiry, Mas Jason. Ayolah kita sama-sama menuntut hasil tes IELTS kita. Siapa tahu ada
Dituntut ya.
keajaiban kan? Iya, siapa tahu ada keajaiban. Yeah, because if you guys don't know about this, that if we have the our IELTS score is out and we feel that we are not satisfied enough with the score, we have some opportunity. We have opportunity to take the inquiry to banding bahasa Indonesianya, like
Hmm.
banding to IDP, and in some case, sometimes they will change our score, like maybe our score is up, but there is no opportunity for us to like going down, stable or going up in inquiry.
Hmm.
Okay, is anyone okay? Mbak Monica,
Yeah,
Mas Sukri, I think want to ask some question to you. Mas Sukri, are you there?
sure.
Yes, Mbak Tisa, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Hi, Mbak Monica.
Hi,
Nice to
Mas
see you.
Fikri.
Hi. Well, sorry for coming so late. I'm afraid that you have already explained it before, but I want to ask you about your experience in Sweden, Mbak Monica, and your tips and tricks to pursue LPDP scholarship. Mbak, I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mas
Okay,
Sukri,
thank you.
and my beautiful sister will answer it directly to you.
So you were asking about my experience uh, when I hunt the scholarship and my experience studying in
Yeah,
Sweden, right?
yeah, that's right. Did you choose Sweden as the destination of your
Yeah.
scholarship? Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
maybe you can share us a little bit about Sweden, the different things about Sweden and Indonesia, maybe.
Okay. Okay. So thank you for the question. I'm gonna start it with um, w- my experience hunting my hunting experience for scholarship. I did I only apply LPDP? Wait. Yeah, I
Yes.
think I only apply LPDP. So yeah, I applied LPDP, and thank God I got the acceptance in my first attempt. Yeah, but I think what make it, what why they accept me to be one of the worthy, because I think I don't know, I worked before in the humanitarian organization, so I think it was pretty good point what I see from when I had the interview. Yeah, So they were asking about my activities in society, what contribution that I made, and what's my plan for that for the futures. And also, I got one of the interviewer was my professor in UI. So it was
Wow.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was really nice of her. But when I mean, she didn't know me. She didn't know me, but
Oh,
I know her, of course. And I said to her, "I'm your student," and she said, "Oh, okay. Since you are my student, I'm not gonna ask you any questions. Let
yeah.
the two examiner ask you questions because I don't want to have a conflict of interest in here." But yeah, but she's nice. So yeah, I didn't get any questions from her because she's my lecturer. Yeah, I got from the two other uh, interviewer.
Interviewers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think uh, of course the first why I got accepted because Allah is my way for sure for until that point. And also LPDP committee always say that you don't compete with other participants in LPDP. When you apply for LPDP, you don't compete with other participants. We have enough quota for
Wow.
everyone. So yeah, when I got accepted, when we prepare for the departure, they said that to us. The data shows there are like they provide 5,000. They provide
Oh,
five
yeah.
thousand scholarship, 4,000 scholarship a year at that time, 2016. 4,000 participant, 4,000 or 5,000 beneficiaries a year, but it always below that number. So they
Wow.
only accept at the end like 4,000. Why? Because they feel they feel that the other applicant don't meet their criteria. So the fact is the applicant for LPDP is almost 20,000 per
Yeah.
year. 20 to I think I'm not no, I think it's not 20,000. I think it's 50,000 because he said it's one kayak perbandingannya itu 1 banding 10 gitu yang keterima sama yang nggak keterima. But they say yang nggak keterima itu not because they apa big gimana ya, intinya mereka bilang you guys don't compete with others, you guys compete
Yeah.
with LPDP kriteria. Jadi make sure you meet the requirement of LPDP, make sure you meet what they want, the applicant. Kayak maunya applicant yang kayak gimana sih, so you meet that requirement. That's about the scholarship. I'm pretty lucky that I got accepted to LPDP. And for why I chose Sweden, so in the
Yeah.
beginning, I always want to study in Europe, like
Oh, I see.
super much. I want to study in Europe. I don't really want to study in America, for example. I want to study in Australia, especially in Melbourne, because I've been in Melbourne once and I really like the city. So I really like Melbourne. So I applied also in University of Melbourne at the time. I applied in Melbourne Uni, and the rest I applied in the European countries. I applied in most of Scandinavian countries.
Mhm.
No, yeah, I've applied in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, and Netherlands, and
Wow.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's the university that applied. Yeah, and because why I want to study in Scandinavian countries because they are pretty advanced in health science, and they are non-English speaking countries. Most of the country that I apply because I really want to.
Learn new languages.
Yeah, but itu palsu banget. It failed. I can't speak Swedish until now.
You can speak Swedish. Hej då.
Hey do.
Hey
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah, Heather Monica. Yeah, I only
Oh,
like that OMG because Swedish speak English very well, so I don't really need to learn Swedish.
oh, so
Uh,
their first language is Swedish and their second language is English.
yeah, exactly. But they are super fluent in English. I
Hmm.
mean, you don't have any difficulty to speak to people there, even the elderly. I mean, of course, not all elderly, but most of them speak English really well. So yeah, you can survive. So that's why I choose Sweden, and I choose my university because that's the oldest one, and that's the oldest university, and it has a, what is it we call it? The program has a specific major in my interests.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about maternal and child health. Yeah, that's a bit my experience studying in Sweden.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Come on.
it was really nice though. I
Thank
really
you.
love Sweden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why you choose Uppsala, Kak Monica? Alah, Miss Monica, we know that Stockholm is bigger than you Uppsala. Why Uppsala is just have IKEA there.
Oh,
Just
yeah, there,
IKEA, right?
Sweden is
Yeah,
where
why
IKEA come from,
why
right?
Yeah,
Uppsala, not Stockholm? Stockholm is bigger and more fancy, right?
yeah. I've been living. Not I've been living. I have lived in Jakarta for almost 10, like 8 years, or yeah, 9 years. And I was tired of living in the big city at that time, so I don't want to live in Stockholm. So yeah, there was a university only 1 hour from Stockholm. It's the fourth biggest city in Sweden, but it's not that big. It's small, but yeah, so I think that's the best place to study, and the Uppsala is kind of like Yogyakarta in Indonesia. So, and it's only 1 hour from Stockholm, so it's really nice to study in Uppsala. For example, I mean, I've searched it already. Like you can't really like biking in Stockholm because it's a far to get to one place to another place. Like in Jakarta, it's a big city, but in Uppsala you can bike everywhere. It's really
Wow.
nice. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the reasons why I choose Uppsala. Can I say hi to Johannes in here, Tisa?
Oh, sure. Hi, Johannes.
Are you here, Johannes?
Hey, hey.
Hi,
Hey.
Johannes is my future brother-in-law. If
Wow, congratulations.
if Mas Shukri, if but I'm pretty sure that Hi, Johannes.
Hey.
How about Sweden today? Is snowy today?
We're having snow. The sun is shining.
What?
Uh,
Oh, so pretty.
yeah.
Yeah,
Are
if the
you really
pandemic is
awake,
over.
Johannes? Can I see your face, if you don't mind?
Wow.
Hi. Sarangnya.
Yeah, my sister is sometimes like murah-murah gitu when
Oh
she's
That's all
drunk.
my.
right. That's totally all right.
Hi, Jo. Yeah.
Hey.
And Johannes is one of the student in the what is called like, in Sweden, and of course, he has good capability to cook because he served me a very delicious sandwich when I visited them there. So
Wow.
yeah, sometimes Johannes, I think you should share to us your experience to stay and live in Sweden, and of course to visit the North Pole. North Pole, right? Yeah, if you have a time.
The polar circle. Yeah.
Oh, iya itu maksudnya. Ya, it's bahasa Inggrisnya apa ya?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is how it's okay. Okay, anyone is there anyone who have a question to ask to Miss
Uh,
Monica?
me.
Mas Yafi, Kak Yafi.
Yes.
Hi Kak. Yeah, you can no, you can ask
Thanks for the
her
time.
directly.
Ada suaranya. Halo.
Yeah, hello.
I want to ask about LPDP. If we have to apply LPDP, there is just use certificate or any other.
Kak, I think I can get your question because there is a bad
Kenapa suaranya?
signal
Yeah, there
there.
is some noise.
Halo. Halo.
Halo
Yeah,
Kak.
there
Coba
is some.
coba rada teriak Kak, rada teriak kayak aku nih sekarang.
Halo. My
No,
question.
It's noisy.
Can you hear my voice?
not really.
Not for you.
Okay, maybe you can just Kak, what is called Kak Yafi, maybe you just can type your question in the
He was asking
chat.
about LPDP.
Yeah,
But I did I didn't
I
get the
didn't
rest.
get the question. Yeah,
Halo.
so we should wait for the Kak Yafi
Iya.
question. And while we
I think Fadil want to say something.
This is Shafi.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
Yafi.
oh
That's the
yeah,
same one.
we are living together in same place.
aduh
Okay.
mencurigakan Mas kalau living to okay. Just kidding. Go ahead, Mas.
I want to ask about LPDP. If we want to apply LPDP, there is we have just using a certificate or any others.
Yeah, Miss Monica, if we want to apply the LPDP scholarship, should we go with the IELTS certificate, or we can go to the TOEFL IBT or ITP or TOEP or TOEIC or anything?
Okay. I'm not really sure for the updated one, but in my year when I apply, you can apply with both IELTS, not both. You can apply with IELTS, TOEFL IBT, or TOEFL ITP. Yeah. So I think if it's still same, you can apply for to if you want to study abroad, then it minimum 550 for TOEFL ITP, 6.5 for TOEFL for IELTS. And of course the TOEFL ITP is the cheaper one, the cheapest one.
Yeah, I hope it answer Kak Yafi. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Is there anyone who want to ask some question again? Before I, start to eat something because I'm hungry. Okay. Okay, Miss Monica, since we don't have question anymore, do you want to give a brief summary about the IELTS thing before we call it a day?
Okay. Yeah, so thank you everyone for having me today in the session. If I may conclude, I would suggest you to first having more preparation by exercise, by practice some questions from the previous IELTS test, and please do it. Frequently, and also when you do it in a complete package. For example, if you do the listening, then you do all the listening for 30 minutes. If you do the reading, you do all the reading for 60 minutes for the reading. So you are used to the pressure, you are used to the time limitations. It will really help you when you perform, when you conduct the real IELTS test. And find sparring partner, also a supportive environment, safe environment to practice. Of course, we have English spoken community. We also have Satu Jam Seribu Mimpi. Those movement would be the best choice for you, I would say, to practice your speaking, to practice your English skill with in a safe environment. And then uh, be persistent. I think that's the last point. You're gonna feel stuck, you're gonna feel frustrated with all the preparation, with the type of questions, with all the grammar, that you really have to master it before you take the IELTS test. It's really important. Otherwise, if you, I mean, you don't have to master all the grammar, but master the relevant, the important grammar tenses, grammar issues. Because when you do the writing test, when you do speaking, what else you could show if you don't have the good grammar? So make sure you prepare that and be persistent, because it's a marathon. It's not like one shot learning process. It's not the quick one. It's not like 1 month preparation, but you have to prepare it for a long time, for example, for 6 months, for 1 year. So you should have good endurance for winning the competition. And I'm pretty sure all of us are the winners, so keep practicing and take the chance every time it comes to you. That's all. Thank you so much. And sorry if there is any word or any mistakes that I made. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Kak Monica. Aduh, aneh banget ya adik gue panggil kakak. Thank you, Miss Monica.
Thank you,
And yeah,
Melissa.
yeah, of course. For you to who asks about the IELTS, materials, I have some suggestion to you. Cambridge books. This one, I hope you can read it through the camera. Cambridge book edition, first edition until 15, and this one, 100 helpful hints for IELTS, is just telling you about the tips and trick, and banyak ya, and IELTS Baron. I use this too, and if you want to, like um read about the grammar, you can what is called, like, you can learn by English grammar by Betty Azar. This one, it's 550 pages, and if you can, if you can stand with these books, just eat the paper. Just eat the paper and just kuduk 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 and drink it, and I'm sure that we can pass it together. Okay, in Cambridge book we can find idiomatic, I think, like, um yeah, Miss Monica. In
Yeah.
Cambridge book, in Cambridge book, I think in Cambridge book, just like, it's just for section about reading, about listening, about writing and speaking, of course, but it's provide, because the Cambridge books is, I think it is the one of the greatest book that you can learn about IELTS, and it's provide everything there about the idiom, everything, the vocabulary, and if you master it, I'm pretty sure that you will pass your IELTS exam. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for accepting us, me and my sister here, and I hope that what of what of Miss Monica shared to us today is will be beneficial for you, and thank you so much. Have a good life, like, have a good life, like Alis Kamu Gemas.
Parah banget lu.
Have a wonderful life, and thank you for joining us. And see you in another occasion. Thank you so much.
Tetap.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Thank
wabarakatuh.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Adil, Mas
you.
Jason, Mas Aprendi, Mbak Desi, Mas Erlangga, Mas Hafiz. Gue sebut semuanya. Mas Hari, Mbak Herlia, Mas Imam, Jojo, Mbak
Yes.
Kana, Mbak Medika, Mbak Priska, Mbak Ratna, Mas Aris, Mas Tony, Mbak Sumaya, Mas Syukri, Mbak Vera, Mas Yafi. Dadah.
Thanks, Ibu
We'll be,
Tisna.
the most
Thanks,
appreciated.
Tisna, for hosting us today. You did a great
Um,
job.
Thank you everyone.
you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Well, thank you, Kak. Have a good
Good
day.
night, everyone.
Good
Bye
night.
bye.
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 Bye. All right.